Hello, friends. This is Dave Hurwitz, executive editor at ClassicsToday.com, here with one of my favorite discs of French fun stuff, Chabrier, with Paul Paray and the Detroit Symphony on Mercury, Living Presence. Also coupled with the Roussel Suite in F. Wonderful performances in that very, what we've come to think of as very French style that Paul Paray exemplified. That is swift, unsentimental, very neat, very clear, very good for this music, actually. I love Chabrier. Chabrier was one of the great orchestrators, actually, of the 19th century. Ravel learned a ton from him. He was sort of Ravel's model for what an orchestral composer ought to be. And Espana, which is only 6 minutes and 38 seconds long in this performance, has been enormously fruitful and influential. It really has. I mean, Chabrier is kind of a one-shot wonder. People only listen to Espana. Mahler called Espana the birth of modern orchestration. And you can really understand why. I mean, Chabrier lived from 1841 to 1894. And Espana was written, I think, in the 1880s or somewhere around there. It sounds so far ahead of its time because the writing is so soloistic and the orchestral combinations are so original. He gives the melody to the harp, like Mahler would later do. He uses percussion with complete freedom. The brass have amazing solo licks. The whole orchestra is opened up as a group of virtuosi and smaller ensemble groupings. It's very modern sounding. Mahler played Espana all the time. He thought it was an amazing work, and it really is. It's exceptional. But you also get here the Sweet Pastoral, which is beautiful, 4 absolutely devastatingly attractive movements. The Fête Polonaise from the opera Le Roi Malgré Lui, the Overture to Gwendoline, the Danse Slave from Le Roi Malgré Lui, the Joyeuse March, and the Bourrée Fantasque. And that's basically Chabrier. That's basically his orchestral music, in music taken from his operas. He had no luck in his life. Not only did he have lousy health, but every time he wrote an opera, the theater burned down. I mean, that was basically the story of his life. He put it into production and it blew up, literally. And then he, everyone said he had terrible librettos, but the music is so wonderful. The music is just delightful and so much fun to listen to and so endlessly inventive and imaginative. And he just couldn't get a break. The guy just couldn't. I mean, what can I tell you? Fortunately, there's enough to make a disc with the Roussel as a little extra bonus. And lots of people have recorded it. Alcerme did it very nicely. I mean, there's bunches of Chabrier discs buzzing around out there. Even John Elliott Gardner did one, believe it or not. And it's not bad. It's really not bad. But this is a classic. The sound is crystal clear. Unbelievably, what's the word? Pointillistic, like a Jacques Seurat painting. That's what it's like. It's just lovely, and you owe it to yourself to hear it. You've got to have Chabrier one way or another. You've got to have a Chabrier disc, a good Chabrier disc. Now, this may not be available anymore separately, but as we all know, Australian Eloquence is releasing 2 jumbo Chabrier boxes, Chabrier Paul Paray boxes. And this, of course, will be in one of those boxes. You may not want to have 23 other discs of Paul Paray stuff. I mean, I do. I mean, it's in 2 volumes. One's like 22 discs, one's like 23. So there's 40 some odd discs of Paul Paray total. And whether you get one or the other, or both, you do want to hear him do Chabrier. I really think this is one of his most wonderful recordings. And it's incredibly enjoyable. So give it a shot and keep on listening, my friends. Thank you so much for joining me. Take care.